Oh, here we go. Hey y'all. So it is 2020. Oh, 2020 is going to be epic. It's going to be epic because we're going to place our energy, our time, our resources in the right places. And this is the Better You TV. I'm Angela Odom, and I'm always rooting for you. We're talking about leadership themed topics every Tuesday at noon. And today, our very first episode of 2020, I got to tell you that I'm excited and with a grateful heart, I am, just here wanting to make sure that I pour into you. So we're again, most women undervalue themselves. Go ahead and share, this particular episode. Go ahead and share, comment. And so again, fires in Australia, there's a lot going on. Puerto Rico, there's the earthquake in Puerto Rico, 6.4. And then there is the Middle East crisis between the United States and Iran. So many things going on. The impeachment hearing, the inquiry, all those things going on. And there is, so much. And the question really is, so what should we as leaders do? And the first thing I just want to, bring to you is that your results are a product of either personal focus or personal distractions. The choice is yours. Personal focus or personal distraction. The choice is yours. Choice is yours, right? So what is it you have decided to focus your energy, time, and attention on? And it really is about our own choices and what we determine we should do and should not focus on, right? So the question again, what should leaders focus on in 2020? One would be effective communication. Effective communication. We have, gone through the Christmas season, Kwanzaa, um, all of that. So the whole winter break. And we know starting in October, we kick that thing off with Halloween with all that candy and all that kind of stuff for the people who celebrate that. Then you go into Thanksgiving with more festive gatherings where we overeat. And then we go into the season where we are spending more money on people than we need to. And we're distracted inside of the workspace. We're distracted inside of our homes. We're distracted. And so I would say that for leaders at the beginning of the year, this is a great time to onboard our teammates again, right? Go through the onboarding process. Basically, we want to focus on the basics. We're going to focus on the basics. So let's start with effective communication. We know what onboarding process when you have an HR department, human resources department, when you get hired into a position, when you start something new, someone is there to walk you through the process, the policies, the procedures, the culture, so you understand, oh, this is what I was hired to do. These are my roles and responsibilities. And then you can actually know how you bring value to that particular position, to that job, right? And so let's start with onboarding. Let's start with effective communication. Because again, it's either our personal focus or our personal distractions that's going to get us the results, whether we want them or not, right? We want to make sure we're intentional. So focus. That's what leaders should do at the beginning of the year. So onboarding, start with effective communication of our teammates, and that is reintroducing everyone on your team, everyone in your circle of influence, reintroducing them to the purpose of them being there, right? And so we go to the basics. What are the actual basics? Why are we here? What are we doing? What's the organization's function? All the different customer-facing individuals, and making sure that they are clear on the policies and procedures and really their job description, right? We want to remain focused. We want to make sure we know what we're here, what were you hired to do. We want to know what, the basics of that, right? That's what leaders are doing. We are eliminating confusion, right? So we're eliminating confusion. That's what leaders are doing, eliminating confusion. Focusing individually, you focus on your morning and your nighttime routines. So that means you want to know what you're going to accomplish the next day, starting out like in that evening for me, writing down, okay, I'm going to get this thing done in the next 24 hours. And so that's my focus. Oh, by the way, don't pick up your phone or email for the first hour. You might do 2 hours, you might do 30 minutes, whatever works for you, but you want to get those morning and nighttime routines down pat. You want to develop your teammates' talent, right? Because you can't do it all. And so again, you're going back to Onboard and you're saying, okay, this is a skill that Tim and Judy and Jane and Mike bring to the table, and you want to develop that talent as you move forward and understanding what is on your plate. You also want to reframe your power, right? So you're in a position of authority, and you want to make sure the people who have assumed authority and power that they don't have, that you pull that thing back, right? Pull that thing back, and that you are able to rely on the people who can actually, perform at whatever level you want them to, right? And you want to take care of your people, and of course, once you take care of your people, then they're going to take care of the mission, and that's about trust. That's about trust. I remember when I served in the Army for 27 years, and I was attending the Army War College. I remember that so vividly because of all of the things that are in the news right now, with the troops deploying to the Middle East, and just so much, right? We're inundated with so many different types of negative news, and people have very strong opinions of them. I remember I was at the Army War College, which is where I got my second master's degree, right? And we were having a discussion, and I remember one of my teammates, another colonel, 06, just like I am. We were talking about one of the something that was newsworthy, and the comment was personal and nasty and negative about our commander-in-chief. And I was taken aback. I was taken aback for a few reasons. One is that the leader, our instructor, did not squash it or stop it. He didn't get us back on track, away from personal discussions and, that kind of thing. And then for me personally, what I did was like, oh, that's what we're doing? I was offended because of the lack of professionalism that was displayed that day. Also, at that point, realized that although I thought we were all teammates there for the same purpose, I realized that I was not the same kind of teammate. So the whole thing was the trust was broken that day. And I fixed that responsibility solely on the leader's shoulder at that point, right? And so I want you to take care of your people, and then they're going to take care of the mission. So what did I do? For me, I was like, put my hands up, right? Actually, I said a few words back and forth that were not professional. Also, I added to the unprofessionalism because we got into a back and forth, right? And it was negative. So anyway, what I learned then was that you have to, as a leader, go ahead and make sure people know left and right limits, what's tolerated and what's not. And that was me, like, for us in that room, we were all peers. We were not the leader of one another. And so we were operating within the left and right limits. And this guy just crashed through the gates of that, right? So anyway, so take care of your people. And that means by onboarding them and making sure that everybody understands what's tolerated and what's not tolerated, especially in this environment You want to stay focused. That way each individual brings their best each day, right? You don't want to tear down trust amongst your teammates, okay? So you also, during this time, what leaders are doing at the beginning of 2020, go back and just understand your own leadership style. That's your approach, right? Whether it is heavy-handed, whether you are, allowing people to make decisions, share decisions, and you make the final decision, whether or not you are the only decision maker and you're not really listening to anyone else's input, whether or not you are you've assessed that your teammates have the experience. They have the experience, and also they have the ability to perform whatever mission it is, and you want to give them that leeway to make decisions at their own, level. So you want to understand your own leadership style, and you want to make sure that that you're doing the right thing by people, right? Don't try to hold them back. This is a chance to push people forward and allow them to, help the team. So look at your own, understand your own leadership style, and adjust where you need to based on what people have demonstrated and abilities and talents that everyone brings to the table. We want everyone to win, right? And what that means is the organization wins and everyone else on the team wins. So everything starts with communication. Everything starts with communication. Then you want to go ahead and grow your own leadership skills, whether it is, again, communication, conflict resolution, whether it is presentation, it could be listening skills, whatever your skills are. You want to make sure you grow your own skills. That's what we're doing. Good morning, Mo. That's what we're doing in 2020, right? In 2020. So leaders, again, so it's either we're going to feed our distractions or we're going to feed our focus, right? We're going to focus on what is going to be best for us in the organization. That's what leaders are doing in 2020. Go ahead and onboard your teammates yet again, just like start at the basics. That's what we're doing. So I would encourage you to go ahead and focus on the next 90 days. Focus on the next 90 days. So look at the results that you want to achieve in the next 90 days with yourself and with your team. And so you will make sure you communicate. These are the big tasks that we have to accomplish. Okay, so Rose, you got this one. Alex, you're doing this one. And you set the expectation that we're back to work. We're done with, the past really 90 days that, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and the festive winter season, right? So then you want to make sure, and is focus on the next 90 days, who has submitted leave, who has the leave as in vacation time, know who's going to be in the office, and then if you have some positions where you have to fill, well, go ahead and get that done. You have some supplies that are low, then go ahead and get that done. Now, you might not have to do it yourself. You might delegate and then follow up. But these are the things, like over the next 90 days, you just want to make sure that you are, you go to the basics. That's what we're doing. Focus on the basics over the next 90 days, right? Focus on the basics over the next 90 days. And you want to have face-to-face time with each of your teammates. And, so some people work remotely, so you might do virtual, but you want to sit on your schedule. You want to sit, stand, walk, whatever it is you do, but you want to do a face-to-face with each teammate. And this is, again, the basics. This is, again, the onboarding process. This is about communication. This is about what were you hired to do. And this is what we're going to do over the next 90 days, and which will get us to the next 365 days, right? And so we want to communicate now and then have that face-to-face, and that way you and the other people on your team are not distracted. By 2020 is going to be, there's a lot of distractions that are there and available if we reach for them and take them. Or we say, hey, inside of these walls right here, We're focused on the mission. This is the mission. This is your task, your role and responsibility. This is how you're going to treat people respectfully, right? We're not talking about, all these other things. We're not going to have the TV on all day long. You're not going to be on your phone all day long. You're not going to be in here cursing just in general, or cursing at people. You're not going to be in here, doing all this foolishness, right? Oh, by the way, all that perfume you wear, that's too much. Cut it out, right? Oh, by the way, and it is, all of that. All those things that take away from the mission. Let's just go ahead and focus on the basics right now, right? So you want to coach people, and anytime you're coaching, that means that the individual that you're coaching is actually the one performing the action, right? And you're coaching them towards what it is they need to accomplish, not you, right? So you want to coach, you want to teach, which means you want to actually get your ego out of the way and teach people how to do particular tasks. And then, of course, you want to mentor, and you yourself want to have a coach. You want someone to teach you, and then you want to be mentored, and you want to mentor also. All right, so that's the growth process for leaders, and that's what we do, right? So the bottom line is leaders need to stay in your own lane. Just stay in your own lane. We talk about those Australian, the fires in Australia, the impeachment inquiry, the Iranian, U.S.-Iran crisis. Yeah, okay, so you got your own opinion, but I don't want to hear it. like I don't care what you think about that, right? So we're not going to do that in here. So just stay in your lane. Go to the basics. Onboard your teammates and yourself, right? Just shut your big old mouth. So politics, religion, and sex, they're really provocative topics. And if they belong in your workspace, then that's one thing. If that's what you're doing, if you're all about politics and that's what you do, then fine. If they belong in religion, it belongs in your workspace, then fine. Sex, whether we're talking about male, female, women's equality, whether we're talking about the actual act, hey, we're not doing that, right? So just, again, onboarding, understanding the culture of your organization, of your own team, right? So you might be responsible for one person, that's yourself. Then you have to know what you're going to say about each one of these topics, politics, religion, and sex. You have to know what the actual policy is. And then so you're responsible for other people to perform a mission, to be aligned with the organization's mission. And my God, yes, you need to know the culture and understand policies. So I go back, stay in your own lane, onboard your people, know what you're hired to do, know what they're hired to do, and then that's where you are, right? That's what we're focused on. So that's what leaders are doing in 2020. we're communicating and stay in our own lane. So you want to build trust, you want to communicate effectively, and then you want to get results. So that's what leaders are doing in 2020, building trust, communicating effectively, and getting results. That's it. That's it. That's it, nothing else. So don't make it hard, don't make it difficult. Your work friends are just that, your work friends. Now, when they cross over to, when your work friends cross over to, eating dinner with you and your family, hanging out outside of that, then that's totally different. But right now, not the case. Stay focused. So go ahead and start a watch party, share, like, comment on this, and we have, we've come to the end of this thing again, the very first episode of 2020. This is episode 52 of Better You TV. This is so exciting. Boom, 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 boom. So again, just so you know who you're dealing with, right? I'm Angela Odom, and again, I preface all of this with the fact that most women undervalue themselves. So I'm the founder and CEO of, I'm the lead strategist and CEO of the Better You Project. I develop a system, a SOAR, strategy, organize, accountability, and relationships, teaching women how to develop their talent, progress in their careers, and to thrive in their social environments. That's who you're dealing with. I'm a certified personal development coach, author, and I'm a proud Army veteran, speaker, leadership trainer, and of all these things, I love, love, love. I gained the most joy from being called Ryan's mom. And so that's where we are. Episode 52 is in the books. This was Leadership 2020 Leadership Perspective. So I look forward to your comments, down below. It's been my pleasure yet again to share a leadership themed topic. For topics that you would like to discuss, or I need to do some case studies, and I'll set up some interviews over 2020. That's what we're going to look into: case studies, interviews, and of course leadership themed topics that are going to help you progress and move forward in your own circle, right? Within your career, within your social environment, and also to develop your own talent. I'm Angela Odom. And as always, I'm rooting for you.